Unfortunately, its true purpose is something much more entertainers and celebrities, by virtually every metric imaginable, this planet is in very good health. North Carolina's government website crashed with so many parents applying to homeschool their children. Personally, I cannot blame them. With mandated face shields and masks, tracking students by Bluetooth, and only going to class every other day, these regulations are ridiculous. That goes without mentioning the myriad of problems that come about because of the institution of the public education system as a whole. After dealing with distance learning all this time, parents are starting to realize how many jobs can be done remotely. If the job can be done remotely, the parents can be there to homeschool the kids. I expect to see many more parents using homeschool and private school options than ever before. It is no secret that Facebook has been targeting conservatives for the longest time. Project Veritas and many brave insiders have revealed this. Mark Zuckerberg stated on record that they do not intentionally have a biased workplace. One or two biased employees is not enough, but when undercover video after undercover video comes out, there might be something to this. Officially, it is bots and programs that are biased, not the people. However, biased bots and programs have to be made by biased people. Perjury is a very serious crime, and instead of just letting it be a free platform, Zuckerberg will just make excuses. The purpose of the census is to determine seating in the House of Representatives, but its real purpose is something much more sinister. Moving on, President Trump has ensured that illegal aliens will not be used to allocate seats. The only reason that Democrats want illegals to count is because they have been trying to get these people into the country with the promise of lots of free stuff. If these same people do not count for votes, these states will not hold any more sway and will have to deal with the financial cost all by themselves. This is how Democrats treated Bill Barr.
We are not using
I just want to
federal
close
law
with this thought. You really can't hide behind legal fictions this time, Mr. Barr. It's all out in the open, where the people can see what you are doing for themselves. The president wants footage for his campaign ads, and you appear to be serving it up to him as ordered. In most of these cities, the protests had begun to wind down before you marched in and confronted the protesters. And the protesters aren't mobs. They are mothers and veterans and mayors. In this moment, real leadership would entail de-escalation, collaboration, and looking for ways to peaceably resolve our differences. Instead, you use pepper spray and truncheons on American citizens. You did it here in Washington. You did it at Lafayette Square. You expanded to Portland. And now you are projecting fear and violence nationwide in pursuit of obvious political objectives. Shame on you, Mr. Barr.
Can I just say, Mr.
Shame on you.
Can I just
My
say,
time
Mr.
has expired.
This is how Jim Jordan treated Bill Barr.
Spying. That one word. That's why they're after you, Mr. Attorney General. 15 months ago, April 10th, 2019, in a Senate hearing, you said this sentence, quote, "I think spying on a political campaign is a big deal." Spying on a political campaign is a big deal. It sure is. And since that day, when you had the courage to state the truth, they attacked you. They've been attacking you ever since, every day, every week, for simply stating the truth that the Obama-Biden administration spied on the Trump campaign. Maybe most importantly, and we're going to talk about this in our side when questioning, I want to thank you for defending law enforcement, for pointing out what a crazy idea this defund the police policy, whatever you want to call it, is.
This is all about attacking President Trump. Just because he believes in law and order, that people should not be burning down cities, and that the police should not be defunded. The people who are being abducted are those who are guilty of crimes, have warrants out for their arrest, and are terrorists. Democrats are so entrenched in the idea that they need to get rid of President Trump by any means necessary that they are willing to do something like this. We have known for a long time that the Steele Dossier was created by the Clinton campaign and the DNC to destroy President Trump. Yet, this same document was used by the FBI to spy on Donald Trump even after he became the president. Senator Lindsey Graham has been at the forefront of this and has been trying to uncover how this all started. Attorney General Bill Barr declassified the sources of the Steele dossier for Senator Graham. It all comes down to a U.S. citizen and not a Russian source. It is astounding, all of the things that the deep state has gone through to try and stop President Trump from making America great again. The China virus is just making things look ludicrous. In addition to locking people in their homes, leading to more suicides, they also forbade people from running their own business how they so choose. Some churches are not even allowed to gather. Some churches are gathering in buildings despite being forbidden from doing so, while others are gathering outside in protest. States like California are forbidding singing in church. I have said it before and I will say it again. This was all a test to see how much freedom could be taken away before we stand up. The Democratic Party has been calling for the dismantling of police departments around the country. Many truckers are refusing to deliver to cities that defund the police. After all, they have no protection from the mobs. Now several police unions are refusing to provide security for the DNC. They are just being consistent with what the Democrats believe. If the party wants to dismantle the police, why would they need police protection? Launching a ship into space is not exactly cheap, but it is becoming even less expensive because of capitalism. When computers, cars, and phones first came out, only the wealthy could afford them, and now they are infinitely more efficient than their creators could have ever dreamed of. Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, has 2 astronauts returning to Earth, and he did it more cheaply than ever before. Perhaps his biggest innovation was reusable shuttles. You would think that the environmentalists in big government would at least support that. The railways that connect this country were largely done by private corporations with private investors. Granted, Democrats hate capitalism, so there is that. In North Carolina, a woman left her newborn child in a trash can to die. There are no two ways about it. The mother was charged with murder, but over in Virginia, Governor Northam decided that it was perfectly acceptable to let a child die if said child survived a botched abortion. Now, while all of this is going on, we have another problem. Not only has the population bomb never gone off, but it was also a dud to begin with because people find new and more efficient ways to get things done. Now, the newest fear is that there are not enough people being born to supplement the people that are dying off. If the growth rate goes below a certain average, the population will decline. All this while Planned Parenthood is killing children left and right. Every time you hear a gloom and doom message from the media, ensure that it has some merit. Because, just like global warming and the population bomb, the China virus is a big dud. Dr. Stella Emanuel is one of many doctors who have come forward saying that the China virus is not nearly as bad as it is being made out to be. She has treated hundreds of patients with the China virus and has not lost a single one. Why? Because she is using existing drugs that are already on the market. Zinc, hydroxychloroquine, and Zithromax. After she did, she was accosted by this person.
You're betraying Black Lives Matter.
I'm black.
Yeah, but that's not...
You're white.
You know, you're not black on the inside. I'm more black than you on the inside at this particular point. Yeah. Oh,
You're black.
there were people during the times of slavery who enabled the slavers. You're on the wrong side, ma'am. I promise you. You are my sister. I am you standing here. I promise you where I am. You're me standing there. Mind you. No comment.
Come on. Come on. Social distance. Come on.
We just did.
All right.
The very first Americans were protesters. Protesters were the very first people to die for this country.
Sir, what's your profession?
I'm Jesus Christ, you tool. My profession is to save the world from yourself.
Can I see your ID? Please.
Yeah, you really want to?
I am not a chemist or a pharmacist, and so I cannot speak much for the latter two. But I can tell you about zinc. To grossly oversimplify, zinc boosts your immune system response and is a major nutrient needed for this job. People who are desperately ill in hospitals are given zinc tablets. Imagine if we started taking zinc more regularly. If we keep this wisdom in mind, the next pandemic will be even harder to swallow. Maybe I'm just blowing smoke. Maybe I'm completely off my rocker, but that is just my opinion.